Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday the 25th of April 2017 and welcome to my SSSVEDA where I vlog every day in April videos. Today I'm going to answer a couple of viewer questions because they kind of combine. I mean they're in the similar vein, so I'm going to do that today. So the first question, well, set of questions comes from Sylvia. Hi Sylvia. And it is about food. I love food. Do I enjoy cooking and baking? Heck no. I hate cooking and baking. I'm not very good at it. Dammy and the Hubs do the majority of the cooking. The Hubs does breakfast. So I'm not totally doing a Whole30 anymore, but we still keep we're still using some of those meals, at least at home. If we're out, obviously not so much, but so the Hubs makes breakfast in the morning, bacon and eggs, and then lunches are fresh fruit and veggies and a hard-boiled egg with Whole30 approved ranch, and Dammy makes lunch for me. The Hubs is in charge of the ranch. He does a great job on that. And then dinner are what we call protein salads, even though they don't have lettuce in them. It's fruits and veggies and a meat, chicken, pork, or tuna. And Dammy does all the dinners. So, yeah. My favorite meals to make. But if I have to cook, and I know I mentioned this the other day, I can do a mean crockpot pizza, which is a recipe that a friend gave me years ago. And you use pasta instead of pizza dough. And I can do stuff in the crock pot pretty good. I also can do a chicken and rice casserole. That is one of my mom's recipes that we've used lots over the years. Other than that, I can make coffee. I can make tea. That's about it. I do not enjoy cooking at all. So, so do we eat differently versus when we were in the US? Yes, because we were eating so much healthier. So that is one thing. There are some foods that, like when we first got over, that we were like, oh, that's another question, US foods that we miss. And the other question I'm going to answer is from Dee Dee about how it feels to be in the UK as an American. So that kind of all feeds into this. So when we first got over here, there were several things that we really missed food-wise, but we've like modified or made it work over it'll be 4 years in August that we've lived here. But also more and more stuff that we couldn't get when we first got here is now becoming available in the UK. So if I had to say the US food that we miss the most, Mexican food. We desperately wish we had access to a Chewy's restaurant here because, oh my gosh, that one is one we miss. The Hubs especially misses chicken fried steak, although he has made it a few times since we've been over here and we've introduced some friends to chicken fried steak who had never had it before. What else? Oh, the Hubs he misses sweet tea, like good old Southern sweet tea, which is just not something over here that we can make it, but it's not as good when you have to make it on your own. It's better to drive through the drive-through. We miss Sonic Drive-In. Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's all not healthy food that we miss. And let me think. So how it feels to be in the UK as an American. Yeah, I mean, there were definitely some adjustments. Probably in the two areas of adjustment were food, especially when we first got here. And the other was language. Different, because different words are used for different things over here than there. So just having to learn them, like in the US it's an elevator, over here it's a lift. Pants in the US are like trousers that you would wear. Over here, they're underwear. Yeah. Make that mistake a couple times in a store asking where the pants are. What else? Oh, over here, So in the US, the bottom floor of a building is the first floor, and then second floor, third floor up. Over here, it's the ground floor or 0, and then the next one up is the first floor. So that's a little confusing too. Trying to think what else, but I mean, it was just stuff like that. Oh, and I guess the other thing we had to get used to was they drive on the opposite side of the road over here. Now, we don't have a car over here. So neither Russ or I have driven since we've been over here. But just, so we use, Edinburgh has amazing public transit. And the UK kind of as a whole with the train system and everything. But having to figure out which side of the road you need to be on to catch the bus going the right direction, that took a little while. So I guess those are probably the main things that we've had to adjust to. But yeah, the people over here there are people all the way from very kind and loving and friendly to not at all, but you're going to face that anywhere you live. So that's not been very difficult to deal with. Yeah, the climate over here is so much better for me. Well, and just kind of in general, we prefer this climate where it's cooler, and not very humid, and we don't have the 100-degree Fahrenheit heat. In fact, today is April the 25th, and we might get snow today. How random is that? Although we had spring last week, so it's kind of crazy. But that just means we get to wear our knitwear more often. So there you go. So that is, I think I answered all the questions from Sylvia and Dee Dee. So thank you very much, ladies, for asking the questions. If you have any specific questions about differences between the US or wherever in the UK, feel free to post them below, because I'm always happy to answer questions about living here or whatever. And if you want us to answer a question together, Dammy and I, or even the hubs to join in, we do have the Ask the Geeky Girls segment of our podcast every week. If you go to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry, there's the Ask the Geeky Girls thread, and you can post your question there, and we will answer it on the podcast. There's not been a single question that we have not been willing to answer, so feel free to ask anything. All right, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will be back tomorrow with something. I'm not sure what I'm talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about my favorite podcast. So tune in tomorrow for that. Have a great Tuesday and stay warm if you're in a place where it's gotten chilly like here. All right. Happy Tuesday. Bye.